Yep. Been a while. It's been quite a while, actually. A month or so, maybe, since I made a video. I haven't actually done any work. Um, it's still primed. It's still primed, and I'm working off a fucking gosh darn chest cold, so I've got all kinds of block sanding still left to do. I did lower my my stilts, I don't know what you call it, a few feet, so I could paint it more easily. And you can see the sawdust and stuff there. I think it's, what, 50 degrees in here? Yeah, it's awfully warm. Therefore, I'm wearing shorts, sandals, and got my space heater going for the rest of me. Today I'm going to start something I should have started, frankly, quite some time ago, which is my front valence. I had neglected to even think about this or worry about this while I was painting and priming and everything else, and it's time to get everything done. So everything else is done and primed and painted and ready. I just needed sand and paint. So there's my Sebring valence. I got that from Scarborough Faire. I'm about to do some surgery to it based off of the shape. And I'm going to do some surgery to it because I cannot hang it the way that it is. Here's my front end, and you can see that I've got some vertical pieces there, or a vertical piece that the old piece would hang on to. And I've got some work to do too. I've got to do some straightening, but yeah. Anyway, so I can't hang this. Oh yeah, my fan club wrote some stuff on my my valence. That was very sweet of that person. And I've got something from my ex-girlfriend there. So anyhow, here to go something like this. And you can see there's a pretty good lip there. I don't know if that would be natural or normal, but I'm going to trim that back. Damn. Excuse me, about right there. And I need to know how much I'm going to trim it, so I'm going to use my CAD designer, that being cardboard aided design, in that I'm going to trace it out, such as this, so that I have just the top lip, like that. I'll then cut that out and use that as a template up here, which I'll then transfer back onto here to get an idea of what I'm going to be, God dang it, scarred, excuse me, to what I'll be trimming off of the plastic bit, sorry, fiberglass bit. So, like I say, this is from Scarborough Faire in Rhode Island. Good quality piece, got no problems with it. I've come to find out the hard way that there's nothing standard on this MG. Oops, nothing standard on this MG in terms of size and fitment and everything else, so I'm going to press pause, trace this out, and take a few pictures. That's done. So I'm going to cut this out nice and carefully. Yes, cat. Nice and carefully, and I'll use this as the template to put up against this, and then trim it back slowly, bit by bit, so I can transfer that onto this lip here. And I suspect I'll be cutting quite a bit out through here and so forth, given I've got a good bunch of clearance in there. Anyway, again, this is not a reflection on the quality or the workmanship of this thing. It's just I've done so much custom surgery to this car that this is part and parcel of the entire thing. I'm not too awfully surprised. So I'm looking for fitment and an overall good look. So I guess we'll find out. I'm gonna press pause, cut this out, and then start the process. First trace. I'll be cutting that out here in a second. Everybody's out in force. Gotta check shit out. So tracing is going to happen in just a sec. Here's how much I've got to take down. I've already traced that out. It's a little bit, it's just about consistent all the way across the board. So I'll take my angle grinder there. Sorry, and trim that off. The trimming off is going to be an iterative process. Excuse me, an iterative process because I don't. I just want to be careful and go slow on this. So if I take too much off in an area, you're not going to really know it. So what I'm going to do after this, on the inside of the cowl here, from the bottom, I'm going to drill holes that go straight up. And through those holes, I'll thread some bolts, and I'll cut holes. I'll drill holes in the same area here, same areas on here, and that's how it'll attach to the car. Yep. So, God damn it! Sorry, I'm done for the night. I gotta pack it in, take a shower, go to work in the morning. I've trimmed this down pretty much, really as much as I thought I would. So I've got a pretty consistent, about an inch around the entire thing here. Maybe I gotta trim that back a little bit when I put the fenders on, but this is what I intend to use on this thing to hold it in. I don't want something too awfully big because there's not a lot of real estate there to work with. I'm even giving some consideration to shoring up the rear side of this thing with more fiberglass, just as a means to make it a little bit stronger. God dang it, Theraflu's not kicking this thing. So I'll give that some thought, and I'm gonna hit the big box store tomorrow and get more of these things, but shorter. Right now, they're here. You can see how far down they hang. Oops. How far down they will hang. And not that I mind if they hang down that far, but God dang it, come on. I'll need a maybe half that size. I don't need this thing to be all the way down like that. I'd like to height it up a little bit, so if you're looking at it from underneath, you don't see these long ass screws. And then, excuse me, and then I'm gonna have to do some rework down here. I found, so when I made this this thing up, the valence up to my car, I've got some gaps, and I really should have thought of that before I reprimed all this, but who cares? You know, priming takes me just a few minutes. The stuff mixes up pretty quickly, and there you go. So I'm gonna add a bunch of crap to this here. I might even do that before I go to sleep. I'll go out, take a shower, but let it harden overnight, and then I'll just even it out so that it's even with everything else. And I'm kind of surprised I didn't do this. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I got this thing to fill too, but I don't know. I guess this is the process. I mean, I've done worse processes with other cars, but take that down a little bit too. Yeah. Oh. There we go. So there you have it. Trim this sucker down. Drill some holes probably tomorrow. Hang it. And hang it up, and then yeah. I also need to figure out what kind of an air dam I'm going to put here in the front. I intend to install an oil cooler. I need to buy the kit actually. And hang it behind the air dam that I'm going to put on this thing. The grill opening, that is. Yeah. So, yep, darn right we do.